you see Airbnbs and houses for sale that are supposedly haunted, supposedly where somebody was murdered or just happened to die or whatever. But the question is, should people, when they're selling homes, have to tell you? Because some people wouldn't want to live in a house that has had someone die in it before. So let me ask you, Producer Aly, you seem more comfortable with the spooky side of things. Do you think that it should be required if you're buying a home, if somebody died in it, should the real estate agent, I suppose, have to tell you, disclose that to you before you buy the house?
I don't know if it's just like someone, if it's someone that died, or maybe if it's someone that was murdered. Like, hey, there was a murder here. That's why this house is for sale. You know, something like that. Maybe that, disclose that information. But I don't know if it's some, because at some point, like, a house is just going to be old enough that, someone's likely died there. But that seems less like a problem to me versus like, oh yeah, somebody got killed here. Like, so that's worse.
It matters whether somebody just happened to die there of natural
causes.
They had a heart attack or whatever, or if they were actually murdered in some way.
Yeah.
That's the distinction.
For me.
But why?
Because that makes...
What difference does it make?
That makes a huge difference.
But what different? What is the difference?
Well, because, I mean, eventually everyone is going to die.
Yeah.
So we shouldn't be afraid of death.
Uh-huh.
That's how I view it, you know. But if someone was murdered, that's a whole different story. Their life was taken from them before they were supposed to be.
But you're not worried about you getting murdered in the house just because of that, are you?
Maybe.
I guess it depends where it is.
Exactly. Like, has this murderer been found? Like,
I feel like people are they're less concerned with, like, I don't want to buy a house that had a murder or a death happen in it. They just don't want to find that out after they've been living there for a long time, is what always seems to happen. And I don't know why. I don't think it, you know what? At the end of the day, if a house did have a murder in it, I would probably, I'd still buy it if I like the house, because that probably means you're going to get a good deal, and I can't afford a house anyways. So if I could afford a house because somebody was killed in it, then I guess I'm going to take the house. You know what beggars can't be choosers, is what I'm saying.
You know, this is a plot of a horror film, right?
I'm sure it's a plot of many.
A plot of a horror film of, like, a house that was super cheap.
Yeah.
Because there was a murder here, and they're like, oh, it's a great deal. And he doesn't tell his family, oh, a whole family was murdered.
And I've seen people complain about this happening in real life, and to me, it wouldn't be as big of a deal. Because then how does that affect me? It doesn't affect me. The only way it affects me is a positive. It makes the house cheaper.
But what if the murder hasn't been caught? They're still on the loose.
And they only murder people in this house.
Maybe.
It's a house thing. It's not a people thing.
It's a house thing.
Yeah. This house, it's just bad security. It's just easy to murder people in this house is actually what it is. That's why somebody was killed here.
Right. You can't tell me that's not a possibility.
Yeah, I guess not. I mean, I don't know. It feels like the more you can know about the house you're buying, the better. But I just don't think that previous murders affect me all that much.
Zillow.com, add that as a distinction.
Yeah.
Now. Has someone been murdered in this house?
Some people will be looking for that.
While you're here, you should watch more of our videos and subscribe so you don't miss what we do next.